Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Mihaela Gruja. I make weekly videos about motherhood and entrepreneurship, and I also have a series on my channel where I show you our garden transformation. In this video, I want to talk to you about monthly favorites. This idea was sent to me by one of my friends to talk about things I've enjoyed over this month, over the couple of months, in terms of anything. It could be books, products, podcasts, whatever it is. I've got a variety of things I want to talk to you about, and I hope you enjoy watching. The first category, let's start talking about books. The first one is The Course of Love by Alain de Botton. The hook in this book is that it follows a couple's life from falling in love, getting married, and then crucially what happens after they get married. Because a lot of books, a lot of movies give us the and then they lived happily ever after type of version. They very rarely broach the topic of what actually happens when you're married. How will you live for 10s, 20, 30, 50 years with someone and still love them, still look at them with that same appreciation that you had when you first married them? This book is so good. It really offers such an interesting, kind, understanding approach to the different conflicts that can appear in a relationship over time. It talks about a lot of sensitive topics. I don't want to give too much away in case you want to read it. And I'd say that for me, it has given me a different insight and perspective about a lot of things when it comes to myself in my marriage and my marriage as well. So I would highly recommend this one. The other book that I read this month was Untamed by Glennon Doyle. I found out about this book after listening to a Brené Brown podcast who had Glennon Doyle on the podcast talking about her life, her journey, her writing, and she mentioned this book. And one of the things in that podcast that I really liked listening to, at least her perspective, Glennon's perspective on what the process of creating feels like for her and how she's come to this realization that she's not responsible for what happens after she's put something in the world. For me, that was really liberating and inspiring to think about when it comes to the things that I put out in the world, whether it's videos or my writing or things that I create in my business, to just create them, focus on the process of creating and bringing them into the world and distancing myself from people's reaction and response to it. So I liked Glennon's voice. I liked the way she was talking. I liked the way she was articulating her ideas, and I thought I'd give this book a go. My friend and I, if you're watching, I know you're there. Thanks for supporting and for sending me this book. We read it kind of at the same time. I'm a very impatient reader. I like to go through the story fast and understand what the book is about really quickly. And I think that strategy didn't work so well with this book, Untamed. First of all, the chapters are relatively short and they are kind of self-contained. For me, reading it in such a rush caused a flurry of feelings that I wasn't necessarily prepared to feel. By the end of the book, I'd come to terms with what I was feeling and I'd kind of processed all of that. But it can certainly elicit a lot of different questions and you might need to kind of take your time reading it and digesting it. The other products I want to share with you are beauty/cosmetic products. Then we've got a favorite tea. That was the tea. I'll share it with you later. And the other final one is podcasts, because I've been listening to quite a few on my walks with Harper. So let's talk about some cosmetic products. I'm wearing this lipstick right now in a very faded form because it is a very intense color. This is a lipstick by Eldridge. Eldridge is a makeup artist who I found on YouTube. Very elegant, very sophisticated. Just watching her videos is such a delight. She came out with these lipsticks last year and I bought this for myself for Christmas last year. I'm gonna do the thing that YouTubers do when they talk about makeup. Hopefully that focuses. I have no idea because I don't have my glasses on and I'm blind as a bat. This is the most gorgeous cold red lipstick, which means it makes your teeth whiter as opposed to kind of warm tones of red, which might make your teeth a little bit yellower. Put a little bit more on. I need to put my glasses on. Look at this. The intensity of this lipstick is unparalleled. It's so moisturizing. It's a matte finish, and yes, it does transfer. Pressing quite hard. It does transfer, but it needs to dry out a little bit as well. It's just such a beautiful color, lovely consistency. Really love this. For me, using a bold red lipstick on a day when maybe I feel a little bit tired, or I'm not really in the mood for the 10th Zoom call of the day. Makes me feel like I've put a little bit of effort into how I look, and even though I'm wearing leggings and a jumper, it still feels put together. The other cosmetic product is a cleansing product, and this is a very simple cleansing product. This is the Micellar Facial Gel Wash. It's crucial that it's a gel because they also do kind of like a cream cleanser, fragrance free, because if you've watched my last video where I talk about 6 things I no longer do as a mother, fragrance is certainly one of the things I'm not keen on anymore, and this actually doesn't have no fragrance. This doesn't have any fragrance whatsoever. The reason I like this cleanser is because it's very, very gentle on the skin. It lathers up nicely, but crucially it doesn't leave the skin feeling dry or stripped away of all the oils. What more can you want from a cleanser? This is it. Give it a go if you're looking for one. The tea. What is the tea that I have been enjoying using? It's the Pukka 3 Ginger. Colder months are coming. I love a nice warm cup of ginger tea. It's a bit spicy. It comes individually packed like this, and the other side bonus and advantage of this tea is that I use it to say thank you for those who ordered a copy of my business's guides. I wrote a guide for my business, Research Retold, called The Guide to Communicating Research Beyond Academia. Whenever someone purchases a copy, or whenever I send them a copy, I would usually have a handwritten note, my business card, and then I attach a Pukka tea bag. My business's colors also include orange, and it's just a nice little personal touch. And the last category, I promised I'd talk to you about our podcast, and there are 2 podcasts I want to share with you. The first one is Dolly Parton's America. Absolutely phenomenal masterpiece type of podcast. So informative. It's not just about Dolly Parton, it's about history, it's culture, musical influences, the way history blends with music, and Dolly Parton's role in all of this, and her influence cannot be overestimated. And even though you might not like necessarily country music, might not know that much about Dolly Parton, I didn't know more than that she sings Jolene and that she wrote a lot of songs. But now I feel like I've discovered her in a completely new light. And the final podcast that I enjoyed listening to, and I mentioned this in a previous video, but I can't remember what the video was. I'll link it up here for you. It is called Freezing Time by Sophia Manikutz. Freezing Time is a podcast that documents the journey of a 35-year-old woman who freezes her eggs. For me, this podcast was such an eye-opener in terms of not only the options that are available, but the different choices that women can make, the science behind it. I mean, that was just mind-blowing, fascinating, the things that we can do and how that can affect, you know, your physical health, your mental health. Super informative and also very entertaining. So that's it for my monthly favorites. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you've read or tried any of the other things I mentioned, and if you have any recommendations of things you've been loving this month, then do let me know in the comments below. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye.